College for Women, Chromepet. She holds MCom, MPhil, and PhD degrees in commerce from the University of Madras, specializing in business finance and marketing. She has published 7 international journals, 5 UGC recognized journals, and presented papers at 15 national seminar and conferences. She has also attended numerous faculty development program and workshops. Dr. Priya Madam contributed a chapter to a World Book of Record on the impact of COVID-19 in India and has received 3 Best Paper Award. Beyond academics, she has served in various leadership roles, including Program Executive Director for Skill Development Courses, Students Union Vice President, and Scholarship Coordinator. Recognized for her contribution, she was honored with the Woman of the Year Award in 2021. She is also a motivational speaker and an active member of the Commerce and Management Association of India. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shall I start, sir?
Yes, madam.
So my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, madam. Full screen. Yes, madam. Perfect.
Thank you, sir. Gurubhyo Namaha. Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. T.P. Priya, Assistant Professor, SDNB Vaishnav College. I am here today to talk to you about writing and publishing research article. There is a saying that if you have a research and if you haven't published it, it never happens. First thing you need to know that if you want to publish a research paper, that paper must be a new one, a novel type, and an interesting. There may be people who have published papers for more than 10 or 20 or even more than 50. If you have published a paper and tried the paper, it is called peer review. Peer review is the evaluation of the work by people with similar competencies as the producer of the work. And if you are going to be publishing your first research paper anytime, this session is going to be very important because in this session, I'm going to be covering 2 major topics, that is steps in writing a research paper and how to publish a research paper. Let us go into the detail. Steps in writing a research paper. Introduction. Actually, research report is considered a major component of the research study for research tasks, which remains incomplete till the report has been presented or written. After collecting and analyzing the data, the researcher has to accomplish the task of drawing inferences, followed by report writing. All the analytical information and consequential inference may well be communicated, preferably through research report. The purpose of research is not well served unless the findings are made known to others. It is the last steps in the research study. Let us see steps in writing the research paper. So blindly, if you're going for a new paper, research report are the product of slow, painstaking, accurate inductive work. The usual step involved in report writing is first you select a subject matter, logical analysis of a subject matter. It is the first step which is primarily concerned with the development of a subject. The logical development is made on the basis of your mental connections and association between one thing and the other by means of analysis. Then comes preparation of your final outline. You make an outline knowing the subject matter. Outlines are the framework upon which long written work are constructed. Third type is preparation of your rough draft. So you have your subject matter now, you made an outline and you make a rough draft. This follows the logical analysis of the subject and the preparation of the final outline. In this stage, a clear explanation about the procedure adopted in collecting the material for the study, along with the various limitations faced, the techniques of analysis adopted, the broad findings and generalization, and the various suggestions regarding the problem concerned. Then you go for the rough draft. Usually this steps requires more time than writing the rough draft. You polish the rough draft now. The research should check whether or not the material has unity and cohesion. The report stands upright, firm, and exhibit a definite pattern. And finally, need to check the mechanics of the writing like grammar, spellings, and usages. Next comes your final bibliography. The bibliography should be arranged alphabetically and may be divided into two parts. The first part contains the name of the books and pamphlets, and the second part may contain the nature of magazines and the newspaper articles. For books and pamphlets, the order may be like under name of the author, last name first, title, publisher, and place and date of publication, number of volumes. The last name first in the sense, since this is a name of Mr. C.R. Kothari, we mention Kothari to be the first and followed by his initial. In case of magazines and newspaper, name of the author, the same thing. Title of the article. Here, the name of the author and title should be in italic. Here, the title should be in quotation marks. And name of the periodicals, the volume, and the date should be like this. So, this is an example. You have the name here, and you have quoted the article in double quotes, and you have mentioned the periodical name and the date of issue and the page number. Finally comes the writing of a final draft. This constitutes the last step. The final draft should be written in a concise and objective style and in a simple language. Avoiding vague expressions, the researcher should avoid terminology and technical jargons. So, this is the end step in writing the research paper. Here comes a typical research article structure. For decades, we used to go for this. So, in this, every detail has been written. How the title was. But first, we have to start with the title and abstract. So, in abstracts, these 4 points should be there. Problem statement, an indication of methodology. Simply cannot write an abstract. Abstract should contain all this. See to that, you abstract have all these 4 points. And coming to introduction also, you should know what and all you have to mention in the introduction. Then you go for literature review. Then you go for methodology. In methodology, you will mention what are the data collections and the techniques you used. Then you go for result, then discussion. And this discussion is a key point in your research paper. Should be a key point in your research paper, because discussion and findings and conclusion, if it is very strong, the paper is more valued. Okay. Next comes the acknowledgement and reference. This is a typical research article structure for your concern. Next, we'll go for the layout of the research report. Step 1. Choose a research topic. So we are going according to this structure. We are going to select a topic. How your topic should be. Actually, here we have an example of one example as effects of social media. This is actually a broad topic. Social media is a broad topic. So you have to narrow down the topic, saying that one social media component, that is Instagram. You narrow down this topic and what is the problem you're facing in that. So your final topic will be like, instead of effect of social media, you go with a narrow downing the topic like impact of Instagram on teen mental health. So choosing of a research topic, select a topic that addresses a gap in existing literature. Ensure the topic aligns with your interest and expertise. That is very important. Narrow the focus to make the research manageable and specific. Step 2. Conduct through research. So you go with the literature review. What are the other reviews they have made in the topic? Explore existing studies to understand the current state of the research. Collect data through methods like experiments, surveys, etc. Secondary research, you go for creditable sources such as academic journals, books, and government reports, etc. So some of the tools you have here for searching for the research review. Step 2. So you have a title now. You have reviewed your research papers and you go for your findings. Organize your findings is a third step. Plan the structure of your paper, dividing it into clear sections such as introduction, methodology, result, and discussion. Organize your data into tables, graphs, and chart if necessary. Highlight the most significant findings to focus your discussion. Next comes the write up the research paper. So you have the title, you have reviewed the paper, and you got your findings with tables, etc., charts, etc. findings. You start with your paper. So likewise, I showed the picture. No, so like that, we will start with the title. Abstract. Usually, in all journals and publication, they used to mention that 150 to 250 word of summary of your research objective with the method, result, and conclusion. So abstract should have all these key points. Then comes the introduction. Introduce the research topic and its significance. Clearly state your research questions or hypothesis. Then comes literature review. Summarize previous studies related to your topic. Methodology, explain how the research was conducted. And finally, to the result. Then go for the discussion, which is a key point. I said, no, your discussion and findings should be very strong in your, You have to be strong in your conclusion. And discussion, interpret the findings and link them to your research questions. Compare your result with the previous studies. Discuss limitations and potential implications. Conclusion, summarize the main findings and their significances. Suggest directions for future research. Here you have to can give suggestions for government and for other people also in order to focus on your topic. Then comes reference. So next one, you have made your research paper, so you have to select your journal. So scope and relevance. Choose a journal that aligns with your research topic and field of study. Consider journal with a high impact factor for better visibility and creditability. There is a table here how the impact factor is calculated, and impact factor are used to measure the importance of a journal by calculating the number of times selected articles are cited within the last few years. The higher the impact factor, the more highly ranked the journal. It is one tool you can use to compare journals in a subject category. Then go for target audience. Select the journal that reaches the readers most interested in your work. Review process. Understand whether the journal follows peer review or open review process. Then go for submission. So check the journal specific formatting and submission requirements. Some of the popular journals for you. Then comes format and submit of your paper. Follow the journals, adhere the formatting rules, including the font size, margins, referring style, and word count. Each journal they will specify with the formatting rules. You adhere to the formatting rules. Then cover letter if necessary. Title page, that is very important. Title, author name, affiliations, contact details, etc. Submit online. Use a journal online submission portal to upload your paper and supplementary journals. Then comes a peer review. If you have submitted your paper, then comes a part of peer review. Peer review process. After submission, your paper undergoes a peer review process where experts in your field evaluate its quality and relevances. There are said to be three types of reviews. That is single blind reviews. Reviews know the author's identity, but authors don't know the reviewers. Double blinded review. Both authors and reviewers remain anonymous. Open review, both parties are aware of each other's identities. Respond to the feedback. If the review has been over, be prepared for the revision based on the reviewer's comment. Respond respectively and address all the points in detail. So after submission, if the paper accepted, and then comes the revise and resubmit if there is necessary. Okay. So edit your paper according to the reviewer's suggestion. Clearly indicate where, how changes were made, and explain how each comment was addressed or justify with certain changes were not made. If it is not made, you have to justify that. Then comes the acceptance of the publication. If your paper is selected, then review the final version of your paper for accuracy and approve the proof. Some journals charge publication or open access fees, and your paper is published online and making it accessible to the academic committee. And your paper is being published. Then comes, if you want to promote your research, use a platform like LinkedIn, Twitter, or ResearchGate to share your publications and increase visibility by presenting your findings at academic or industry events. Reach out to other researchers to build connection and further. So with this, we conclude the layout of the research paper report. And Sometimes we face some common challenges. How to overcome them? So some of the four common challenges usually a researcher faces are: number one is rejection, number two is lengthy peer review process, and formatting issues, plagiarism concerns. How to face them? So for rejection, learn from the reviewer's feedback and revise for the submission to another journal. Lengthy peer review. Some journals, they may take 6 months or 1 year. So choose the journal. If you want, you can wait. Okay. So choose a journal with the shorter review times, or follow up politely if they delay appears. Okay. Then double check the journal guidelines before the submission. Plagiarism. You can use tools like Turnitin or Grammarly to ensure your originality. So next, we'll go for the topic how to publish a research paper. So we have covered this topic already in some places. So we will go in elaborate here. Okay. So publishing a research paper is a rewarding yet meticulous process that involves careful planning, execution, and adherence to the guidelines. By following the step-by-step guide, you can navigate the process effectively, from choosing a topic to promoting your published work. Persistence and attention to detail are key to success in academic publication. Each publication marks a significant steps in advancing your career and contributing to your field. What are the steps in publishing a research paper? So you have to choose a journal. Okay, the first steps in getting your paper published is choosing a right journal. The best way to identify the best journal for your paper is by looking at the reference section of your manuscript. Journals only publish manuscript of the topics they have previously published. Moreover, the tone, the format, and the writing style must be similar to that of the articles and papers published by the journal. Another way to find out the right journal is by using Journal Finder also. This helps specify journals related to your work and also mention journal ranking. For a better understanding, we can ask the following question, that is, who is my target audience, or which journal fit my manuscripts, and which journal are ranked better and have a higher impact. That what is a important key point I already mentioned. Which journal are open access and which are subscription based. What is the publishing fees for the journal? And some of the well-known online journals are here for you. Step 2 is prepare your paper. After selecting a journal, you should prepare your paper for your submission. The tone, the structure, and the format must be according to the journal. Certain journals have a particular format for even how the table should be or how the figures should be, and other materials are presented. They may ask you to publish the paper, give the paper by both the sides. Okay. So Bookway, they'll ask some journals. You should always keep in mind your target journal and your audience and the key accordingly. Lastly, it is necessary to aware of the editorial policies of the journal to avoid any complications in the future. Next, you go for editing and revising. You have a paper now, you selected your journal. Before submitting your paper, it is wise to revise it and correct any factual errors and knowledge gaps that might have occurred. So our seniors, when we were doing the PhD work, our seniors, our guide used to tell this point as a very important point. Read again and read your paper. Again, you read your work. You may find some errors. So for example, there may be commas unrelated to some places. There should be a full stop, and we have not placed that. So read every time. So more than 10 times you read the paper before your submission. Then submit your paper. After completing the above steps, submit your paper to the journal. Each journal will have a specific journal requirements that should be followed. There is no set time when you can expect to hear from the editor. However, a desk rejection may occur if the editor rejects your paper or send it back for revision and submission. So you choose the journal, you prepared your paper, editing part over, submission part over. Next comes the peer review. So already we have seen this topic. So peer review is an independent assessment of your work by the expert in your field. A few research papers get immediate acceptance from the peer-reviewed journal. However, rejection is not something to be scared of. It is simply requires changes before the publications can be considered. often you will be asked to revise your paper and submit it for the further feedback. You can also track your paper by the reference number if it is given to you by the journal. And this is a pictorial representation of your paper, how it goes. You submit your article, it goes with the editor. If it is rejected, it will go there. And if it is for revision, you will revise it and you will resubmit it, then send to the reviewers. Then reviewers assessed by the editor. If it is accepted, it goes for the publication. Next, for the production process. When your paper is accepted for publication, it heads into production, then it's prepared for publishing in the journal that has accepted your research work. Then with your share the promote. When your research paper is successfully published, assess your article on its impact. Sharing research and making notable achievements can get you recognition in the field. Okay, here ends how to publish your paper in your journal. And some collection of all the heads, what we saw here, we have a gist of essential points to be remembered finally. How to
Dear participants, if you have any doubt, unmute your mic and ask directly.
Good evening. Good evening, ma'am. I have one doubt.
Good evening, ma'am.
Recently, in the UGC care list was removed,
UGC care list was removed.
Yeah, it has some queries. We couldn't find out the exact journal. Some of the cloning journal also be available. How do you find out the exact journal?
That I'm not in that knowledge, ma'am. But recently, my paper has been selected by ICT for UGC care list. They said that they have been selected for UGC care list. So ICT selected 20 papers. So among them, my 3 papers of my students' paper has been selected, and they said that they will represent it for ICT's representative for UGC care list. That only I knew. This information is new to me, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. Suppose if you want publish paper, then I will check it in the Simaco software, Even some of the ISSN number is not available over there. How will you find out the exact ISSN number from website?
That is what, ma'am. We have to be in touch with all the authors, co-authors, and this is what the website I showed now, ma'am. You can communicate with them. This is new to me because I am nearing my retirement time. So I want my generations to go with this chatting, and we can discuss with them, and we can inquire with them, and we can get the information.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Jason. Matthew, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Like, if I hear that, I hear many of the people saying that if you, like, when a research paper is ready and if you check in any of this plagiarism check softwares.
Yes, ma'am. That has happened actually in university also. We
Yeah.
used to make a, when we were doing a PhD, we were given a cautious that when you go for some free plagiarism checkup, our paper will be going in signature and the
Yeah.
same paper will be showing as a plagiarism. That cannot be, that we cannot make any thing. Actually,
No,
we have
like
plagiarism
ma'am,
software.
before we send the paper for any journal or anything like that, we have to check our plagiarism now.
Yes,
And
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
even in Turnitin, that is the way it seems.
Yes,
So if you can give me a clarity into that is one thing. Second thing is, I have heard if you are using AI, that is artificial intelligence for.
please don't go for AI, ma'am.
Okay. Because some people are telling
Because
you can easily do it.
we can usually do it, but you know the traditional way we used to do. Because for MPhil, with PhD, we used to do our chi-square calculation and all. We used to manually do, ma'am, without the SPSS. That is the
Okay.
time we used to chi-square valuation, everything we used to manually, we used to do without the SPSS support. That is the time. So
Okay.
from traditional way, what is my suggestion is, don't go with AI everything. So
No, but
AI
some people are.
doesn't know what to relate. But we can justify, we can know the knowledge of that, and we can produce our paper. AI without extension of knowledge. If you want to know, you can know the content, but you
Okay.
produce your content, ma'am. Don't
Yes, ma'am.
blankly go with the AI.
Yes, ma'am. But some people know, they laugh at me. I am a PhD student, and one of my colleague is also a PhD student.
Ma'am, gold
He
is
laughs
gold,
at
ma'am,
me.
always. Gold is
Because,
gold always.
no,
Ma'am.
ma'am, it is like this. He laughs at me saying that you keep doing everything sincerely, okay? You will finish in 10 years.
Okay.
So that is the way they feel, no?
Ma'am, that
So,
the 10 years value is more than making in an A, ma'am, actually. My suggestion is that value, that is what I referred in the journal. When you, before going for a publication, you read. You may send it to the AI and when make a checkup. But as you read and find out the mistakes. So you read and you find out the mistake. That is different with the comparing with the AI.
okay.
Correct, no, ma'am. That is why maximum, but we have to upgrade yourself. We have to enhance ourselves. We have to upgrade yourself. We have to go with the Gen Z. So AI is good only to some part. Some doubts if you are asking with AI, you have to think that whether the AI what they have given is relevant to your subject or not. Something irrelevant may be also there. If you blindly put that into your paper, it will go with a mistake. So you have to study whether it is relevant or not. We have to remove everything. Then we can take it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for such an enriching session. I just had a doubt for paraphrasing. Because at times we are unable to get the best of the words when we are especially framing an article, and it has to be crisp and it has to be, we have to use the maximum analytical part within the limited framework of our write-up. So, ma'am, my only question was, if we use the assistance of AI and then make for paraphrasing and then
Yes, ma'am.
modify.
You can go with that. That's what I said. You have to go with that. You have to go with the AI because you have to upgrade yourself, which is time consuming. What ma'am said, like time, we can make time consuming. We can use AI to some extent. To some extent.
Yes, ma'am. Only my question is that in plagiarism checker, will that be an issue? Hello?
Sorry, ma'am, not able to hear you.
Yes, ma'am. So in plagiarism checker, will there be an issue if paraphrasing is done and modifications or to the paraphrasing is done?
Can you repeat the question, ma'am?
Ma'am, my question is, I use the assistance of AI for paraphrasing through AI. So AI generates a paraphrased version, and then I manually, with the words that are obtained, now I manually do it. After generation from AI, I manually again paraphrase it to what the AI
Okay.
has generated. So will
Okay.
that be an issue in the plagiarism check?
Plagiarism checker, that is what the example I gave, no, ma'am. You make the meaning exactly. What
Mhm.
if I am doing a paper, my intention is I want to give a new thing, new knowledge of what I studied. I want to experience to other people. So I refer some paper and put it into a content and want to share. So the paraphrasing is, you should not, there may be AI don't know that we have to take this or this, we have to take this, we should not take, but we know that we should not take the other person's exact words. Don't change the meaning of the content what you want to share with the others, but you rephrase accordingly, ma'am. Don't take the same word what the other author has taken. You just study the content, know the knowledge. If AI is producing, you say see to that the same words doesn't repeat. You go for synonyms of the other words and you make the paper, ma'am.
Understood, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so
You
much for
have more
such an
synonyms
enriching
for
session.
one word also, ma'am. You have more synonyms. You
Yes,
have thesis. You can change that word for the same meaning, but you have to read out. You have to read out and see that whether it is relevant to that sentence or not.
yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Madam, thank you, madam. It is very informative session. And I have
Okay,
one doubt. How we can check that the Scopus indexed journal is not a fake one, madam?
that I don't know, sir. Really, I don't. That I really
Because
don't.
okay. Thank you,
That I
madam.
usually that was that till now, since I'm nearing my retirement, till now I used to take from my colleagues, sir. So the
Okay,
scopus, if they are going to select this, they used to refer that. So these are the
okay,
scopus they are running. If I used to mainly, sir, when you go with the discussion with your friend circle and with your senior person,
okay,
you will have a more clarity, sir.
okay.
You will go never go wrong in that.
Okay.
In spite
And
of
thank you.
selecting, you individually select, you go with the colleague, you go with the friend circle, or go with the seniors and get their suggestion.
It's
You won't go
9:50.
get wrong.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I
Thank
have
you.
You can,
and
hello, good evening.
Good evening, Dave, sir.
Yes. So you can go for the Scopus website and directly you can search that paper, the
Okay,
journal
sir. Okay.
title.
Okay.
So you can get that the authentication for that only.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you for the insight, sir. Thank you, sir.
so someone is asking about that how they are searching that the
Yes,
Scopus.
sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
directly
Yes.
you go for the Scopus website and you can search it. That is the authentic. That is
Actually,
the
his
authentic journal.
question
You
is
can get
whether
it.
how to find out it is original or not, sir.
You go for the Scopus website and search it. So that is the authentic journal. You can get it.
There is many scams, sir. So we are afraid
No, no,
whether
no.
it is original or not.
In Scopus website, there that is not possible. Someone send you link and you can search
Yes.
it. That is
So good
might
evening,
be
all.
some clone journal
This is
and
Dr.
something
S.
is
Shekhar.
there. But
Yes, sir.
directly
Yes.
you can go for this various Scopus profile and Scopus website and you can search it. That is the authentic journal. You can get it. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your insights. Thank you.
excuse me, ma'am. Related to this, I have another issue. Sometime back, some 10 to 10 years, around 10 years back, we published a paper in a journal, and the journal is Scopus indexed, and they say that the article is not indexed, or author's name is not indexed. When we enter the name, our name doesn't
Okay.
appear in the Scopus. Is it the right man, or
Whether
what is like
you
that?
can view the name, sir, whether you are able to view the name,
No, we are not able to view the name, but we can see that article or the journal in the Scopus list.
but your paper is not visible.
Yes, it's not visible.
Okay.
But it happened 10 years back, but I do not get
So
any
can I
solution
give
for
your
this.
answer?
Pardon, sir?
Can I give your answer?
Yeah, please, sir, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go
Yes,
ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what happened in the Scopus? There
Okay,
is some year-wise listing is there. Okay. So
okay,
might be this journal was in 10 years back. This was in Scopus, but presently this was not. Now this is not available. Okay. So
Okay.
if this condition is happened, then
Okay.
now this at the present scenario, you can't search it that as a indexed paper. But
Okay.
earlier you can show it that particular this date and this years, but
Okay.
every people are accepting.
No, it happened 10 years back. Even at that time, I was told that the paper is in index, but still this
Not
article
right.
is not indexed.
That's why I'm
It is
telling
not
that
after 10 years, even at that
presently,
period.
yes, sir. So presently what happened? Presently, if you can go for your Scopus profile, that is not visible, right?
Okay.
Because what happened that presently this suppose 2024-25 at the scenario, this paper is not available at now. But what
Okay.
happened at the 2014-15 at that time, this paper was in Scopus. Okay.
Yes.
But
Yes.
every year what happened that this updating is there. So
Okay.
if this paper is not available that the present year, so this is not available in your Scopus profile.
So it is a proof that when we make a publication and when it is present there, we have to take a copy of that.
Yes, true,
That's
madam.
what we can do. That is
Yes,
a
true.
proof we can have. So immediately we have to take a copy and put it in a drive so that we have a copy of
We will
ours.
have a copy and drive, madam. But there
Okay.
will be citation issue. No one can be
That
citing
is
it
what the
when the
answer
paper-
he gave, sir. Sir has given clearly.
Okay. 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 Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am,
Thank
really
you, sir.
a meaningful, wonderful session, madam. Very informative. Thank you. Very
Thank
much.
you. My point of view is to give this input to coming generations. Sir. What we failed, what we struggled, they should not make. Thank you, Dev, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shekhar sir, can we end up the session?
Yes, madam.
Thank you, Shekhar sir and Star International Foundation for Research for giving me this opportunity to express my learning experience. And last but not least, I thank my colleague who have encouraged me to take part in the session. Thanks you a lot. God bless. Thank you, sir.
Sir, attendance sheet, please.